Okay, welcome. This is usually our week off. We had a few things we wanted to get done tonight, and then a few others. Some we're gonna have to table again, and some will get finished, but maybe we'll go through this quickly. First is consider resolution 15, 2017, authorizing the mayor to enter into contract for the sale of real property. We are waiting for a secret form. It is not attached to this and a new contract, but we can, all the other information is in here about the sale price and conditions, so if you could, I'll make a motion to authorize myself to sign the contract once it's in place. I'll read the last, let's see. Resolved that the board declares itself the lead agency with respect to the secret review of the sale of the village parcel, since there are no other agencies that have authority to approve the sale, and let it be further resolved that the village board of trustees hereby issues negative declaration, see attached, nothing attached to that I just stated, it will be, for this proposed action under secret, as it will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts, and environmental impact statement is not required. And let it be further resolved, the village board of trustees hereby determines that the sale of the village parcel is in the public interest of the residents of the village, and resolved that the village board hereby authorizes the mayor to execute any and all required agreements and documentation to effectuate the sale of the village parcel, subject to the review and approval of the contract of sale as to form and content by the attorney for the village, by order of the village board of the village of Cold Spring, New York.
You need a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign resolution 15 of 2017, pending the attachment of the contract in the secret form, which the contract had one minor adjustment, and I pointed it out to Jeff Layton, that's why it's not here. But anyway, that's the motion.
Second.
Okay, roll call, do we have any discussion?
No, okay.
So roll call vote, I vote aye, trustee Murphy,
Yes?
trustee Early is absent, trustee Miller,
Aye.
and trustee Voloda.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Just a note to whoever typed this, I believe Jeff, that Lynn's name's spelled right, but not Maurice.
Yes.
So we know it's
Earl.
yeah, Earl, as in Earl.
Do you want to put a note, or if you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. I usually have a list of them in the morning. Next is the Fair Street Project bid alternates. Let's see, got this in my way. Last week, Greg had come here and he had, he explained all of the additions that he would like and that there's monies for. I asked him if he'd put it in writing, which he has, and that's what we have in front of us. So they're approve additional expenditures to the Fair and Market Street Sewer Rehabilitation Project and add alternates 1 and 2 for the sewer collection main on Main Street. These expenditures will increase the project budget from $169,166.25 to $205,299.75. The ban amount is $296,000.
I make a motion that we approve this additional expenditures for the Fair and Market Street sewer rehabilitation and the add alternates 1 and 2 for the collection main on Market Street.
I'll second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next we have the ongoing film permit applications. There have been more revisions
Yes.
and a few little spelling ones that
I think I got them all.
got everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sorry about the double vision printing with my new printer.
I thought it was my eyes.
Looks perfect.
Thought it was my eyes.
No, it's not. It's
It
not
looks-
quite aligned for color yet, so.
It looks great, Lynn. I
Yeah, it
mean,
does.
you've done a phenomenal job on this.
Oh, well, thank you. John first added some recommendations. If all the stuff on page 3 is okay, I trust Marie with her eye for detail that she picked up all my mistakes
Mhm.
and stuff that we needed to adjust. But I wanted to ask you, Dave, about the agreement for Village of Cold Springs Services.
Mhm.
John first suggested this, but also that the film production company put into some kind of an escrow account, money to cover that.
Right.
And can't we just ask for a deposit for that instead? I mean, is it gonna be tricky to have an,
Well, I think the escrow isn't used for anything that's purchased or that's needed or fees or whatever. It's anything, like contingency, or if they were to leave a huge mess, then we could take the money from there. If there was
Right.
a suit or something, or we needed, I don't know, legal advice, maybe we could use that.
Mhm.
So I think, we're gonna come up with a general, escrow code also, John recommended. He said that we can charge escrow for everything, so I think we could just have it as an escrow.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just leave it the way
Does
you
it take time to
suggested?
set up an escrow account?
No,
Also,
I mean, it
it's a-
shouldn't take, I mean, there should be, I don't know, how many days before, do they have to give us advance on this?
I think it was 20,
Oh.
you said.
30 days, actually.
Yeah.
Okay,
And what happened?
No, it's basically, it's just a check and,
but if they were like, you know how they had to hurry up when we did 2 weeks ago?
yeah, well,
Well,
They would
this,
have to do a deposit instead or something?
well, we do ask for advance. We do ask for a day's, a day's fees in advance to come along with, with their application. But this was just in particular about the use of police vehicles, fire protection if they're doing anything that we might need to have them
Right.
nearby.
So,
So that was just my question in particular about that. Otherwise, I think we can, if you're okay, just leaving it the way John recommended.
yeah, I think so.
the question with that is that if we have a small situation where they're not gonna need police or fire or anything, are we not gonna ask for an escrow?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the escrow was just in regards to police and fire protection. And the other change that I noted, and I sent this on, let's see, let me find which page that's on. I'm sorry. Oh, there was gonna be an agreement, if we do need to have police protection. We do need to have police
Page,
protection.
will you?
I'm not sure. I'm sorry,
Okay.
let me find it again. I thought I highlighted this in red. Oh, no, yeah, it is. It's on page 6. I changed, it's the very last thing on page 6. Additionally, the village board of trustees shall determine charges, if any, for the use of police vehicles assigned to the production company to compensate for wear and tear and fuel and stuff like that. It used to say that we would have a specific dollar amount that they would pay us per hour for this, but I figured that can change over time, and why not just leave it vague, and we'll, if they need that kind of protection, why don't we just figure out what it's gonna cost at the time and charge them that? So that's why I just changed that one clause there. But once again, if you guys are all okay with this, then I will send it back to John for his final recommendations or changes, and then hopefully we can,
I don't know how we're gonna come up with that, though, the wear and tear, or how do we work that, or,
well, I've been doing more research about what other villages charge, and their codes are really non-specific about that, so we can just kind of charge them anything. I mean, it seems like what most municipalities do is just kind of pull, some kind of guesstimation about what that's gonna be.
Trying to get my head around the use of police vehicles, because typically we'll charge for a policeman by the hour.
Yeah.
Their salary plus whatever
Mhm.
compensate, whatever benefits they get and stuff like that. What do we use police vehicles for other than to block a street?
Well, we would do that. We could also, they might actually want to use the police vehicles in the shoot itself.
Yeah, that's sort of an iffy, I'm not even sure our insurance will cover that.
No,
Um,
I'm guessing.
yeah, So I'm not sure our insurance will cover for our vehicles to be used in a film.
Well,
Their
I think we
insurance
should be
covers.
compensated to a certain degree if we have to keep a police
Tie it up
vehicle
a car.
at the location of some kind of film shoot or something, and that police vehicle is not necessarily free to go answer an emergency call. That we
I
have
think
to
this would be
employ an
over and
animal.
above what we have, like if someone was on duty, they'd still be on duty, they don't necessarily have to be on the shoot, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, this would be the additional.
Yeah, you might have to bring more officers in for the
Yeah.
shoot itself
yeah.
to do the work.
Yeah, I think we should strike that, I just think it's gonna be hard to, or it's just
Okay.
arbitrary.
All right, I'll just take it out
And
then.
if we do the hourly and it's, whatever,
Hmm.
should be good.
Okay.
Do you wanna schedule a public hearing?
Yeah, so we're gonna schedule a public hearing.
Okay.
I think everyone's commented on this, so, we will schedule that, and unless, we'll let Marie know, and unless if there's something else we're missing, then we get a final draft so that it's made public, and so we're gonna, I'll make a motion to set a, public hearing for the, code for, film and photography permit on, second week, or no, it's
First Tuesday.
on June 6th at 7 o'clock.
Perfect, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Alright.
there you go. We're getting there, Lynn.
Yeah, we're getting there slowly. This next was a discussion of Dockside Park. We're fairly close to formalizing an agreement. I had sent out my concerns and why I didn't think that, we would ever be able to sign the contract, the last one that we received from New York State Parks. They came back and made all these changes. It went through their attorney. So we are waiting for some more information. One is the easement. It goes through, the entrance to the park is actually private property. We have an easement, so waiting on an easement. I requested that and still haven't received that, just to make sure, we're not, whatever, that we're able to do everything that we envision or would like to do there, or what we won't be able to do, or if there's any restrictions. Also, it went to John first, and he's made a few recommendations and had a few questions, so I have to get that back to him. So, we'll have to table this, that's the discussion for tonight. It's almost there, we're waiting for an easement, and there's a few changes that our attorney made, which we will send to Parks and ask them if they can change that in the agreement, or to clarify a couple of words, just clarifications.
That easement already exists.
The easement exists, yeah.
Because we use it for lots of stuff.
We use it for everything, yeah.
But is there a different rule if we're gonna use it all the time, or like,
I don't know. That's what we should find out.
because the people might not,
Might be happy,
so
yeah,
can't,
right?
but
Yeah,
I forget their name. So,
I'm sure if you opened something there, it was open daily or something, maybe you can't do that, I don't know. I
okay.
have no idea. So we should check that, just so,
Yeah, to go up before you go any further.
yeah, or maybe it's just made up in state parks, I don't know. And you can't pass it along with an agreement, I don't know. So, best to get the easement itself, the document, and check it out. Okay, next is we have a docking request from the River Rose. Per our code, the board is supposed to, administer these, so this will be our first one. It's an application from River Rose for, let's see, Saturday, September 9th, arrive at 9, depart at 10, and then return at 1, and depart at 1:30. So the total fee is $384 per our code, and the numbers of the fees that we came up per foot. For non-docking, this is for if you drop off, leave, it's $8 if you stay docked. So this one would, excuse me, fall in the first category, so it's $6 a foot, so it's $384. So I'll make a motion to conditionally approve this, that the insurance certificate is supplied, it's not attached here. So,
Second that?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we'll wait for that, and I'll ask Jeff to follow up. The other thing, on the application, if you look on it, it doesn't have anything about the number of passengers. I think we should add that to the application.
That's a good idea.
We need to sort of clean up the top a bit.
And yeah, we need to set up the top. There's no line for date, and also a fee, total fee should be somewhere. So
Mhm.
I'll ask Jeff to clean this up. Okay. Next, we have a code enforcement consolidation agreement. We're gonna unfortunately have to table this tonight. There was a mix-up with the agreements, and I met with, last week I met with the supervisor and their code enforcer, Greg Warner, and we discussed everything, ironed out some things as far as process and everything went, have everything pretty much straight, but the agreement that they sent us, that Tina sent us, the clerk, from the town, was an older version, so they hadn't made the changes that we had discussed and agreed upon at this meeting. So we sent that up to them. Their board hasn't had time to review that, so hopefully it'll be, they were gonna have it on their agenda this Wednesday, tomorrow, but Richard said that they'll have it on the following Wednesday's agenda.
So this one in front of us,
The one in front of you is right, except for there's a few changes. The heading is wrong. It's not like for certain projects, it's for the entire. And I think the rest of it is pretty, is right. I didn't read this one, they just put in our packet, so I'm assuming Jeff put the right one in there.
okay.
And so there was a response from their attorney saying this needed to be changed, but we had already changed it, or he hadn't seen the new agreement. So we sent that to him, and we're almost ready to roll on that, but we'll have to table that till we hear back from them. And that'll be next Wednesday.
You do meet next.
What's that?
They're meeting next Wednesday? Okay.
Yeah, this Wednesday they can't do, well, I don't know if they're meeting the following Wednesday or when they meet.
Yeah,
They said the following Wednesday, but I'm not sure if they have a meeting then.
okay.
I'll follow up. In the meantime, if you take a look at this, if there's anything that you see, I think I've sent it around. Let's see. Table that. And lastly, we have a resolution from Nelsonville to enter into a water supply agreement with New York City DEP. We sent them a request to Nelsonville. We needed them to agree on letting us, act as proxy, I guess, for them with regard to when we hook up to the aqueduct system. So they have sent a resolution agreeing to that. It is hereby resolved that the Village of Nelsonville Board of Trustees consents to the Village of Cold Spring Board of Trustees entering into the agreement with respect to an emergency water supply. And foregoing resolution was voted upon with all members voting as follows, 3 yeses. So, thank you very much.
Thanks,
To
It's one down.
make one down,
Yeah.
getting closer to that also.
Mhm.
There's one more request from Phillipstown, which is slightly different, so. Anything else from the board, before I open it to the public?
Nope.
No.
I
Yeah.
did, I just
No,
wanted
go
to
ahead.
mention that I attended the Cold Spring Area Chamber of Commerce breakfast this morning and met the new director of tourism. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the new Visitors Bureau director. I get those two mixed up all the time. And that was a really well-attended meeting, and people had lots of ideas, and I would say that it's really gratifying to know that both business people, people in nonprofits, and people pretty much across the board understand very deeply the impacts that we're feeling from growing tourism. And I got a sense that, we really want to address that, and that we have help
Nice.
waiting in the wings for that, so.
Thank you. How long did it go on for? That was 8 o'clock?
Yeah, it was, they had scheduled it for just an hour. I think people mingled a little longer afterwards, but
Good.
it was good.
Anything else? Steve, if you want, we should get together and do that, and work on that resolution, the bid package.
For the roof, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
if we can
I was
get-
just thinking about that. I had I found a piece of rubber and I have some cement so we can make a hole ourselves
Okay.
and just patch it.
And then if we can get the exact material we want to use,
Yeah.
with the thickness or whatever of the rubber, so, all right,
We'll name
whatever you
it.
want to do, that'll work with you on it.
Okay.
Do you know when the doors are coming in for this building?
They're all ordered.
2 doors
Sometimes
ordered.
in June, I would imagine it takes like 6 weeks or something.
But that's, I mean, it's not gonna be in this year's budget
To do it.
to pay for it.
To
Just
install it.
purchase it.
No, they're already purchased.
Yeah,
Oh, they
but unless they're delivered, we can't put it in this year's budget.
They take a long time to order the metal doors because they make them to size, yeah.
I think we called today, didn't we? Somebody called today?
Yeah.
I thought-
yeah,
I already
answered
submitted the
them.
bill 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's in your bin, I think, to sign.
Yeah, I just did. So I thought that's all we needed, but yeah, they take a while. We should have ordered it back in March.
Yeah, I know, I sort of said on it, but, so we do have, if there's anything we can do in the next couple of weeks, for repairs here.
What happened with the roof over your?
I gotta talk to
He
Dave, I
was here
didn't do it.
today, so he said he was gonna go up and take a look.
No, okay. I mentioned it to him, but
Yeah.
he said it's a matter of keeping that thing clean.
Yeah, and I said to him, is there something we can do so we don't have to go up there in a couple of months and clean it?
Yeah, right.
I don't know anything about roofs, so, but he was gonna go up
That's
and
part of
take
your
a look.
job now, you have to do
I
it.
have to do roofs. Marie was gonna paint, so I figured I can, I don't do roofs. I mean, I can paint.
All right.
Okay.
And just so everyone knows, or whoever's interested in the sewer treatment plant, we're working on blocking that off. There were noise complaints, so we're working on that. I think Greg was going to Dutch's door to get some estimates on the 2 doors we're gonna need also for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
It'll come from the same manufacturer.
I guess not.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're gonna set that.
He emailed me something today that has the description of the materials and what they're recommending or whatever. So
Right.
I don't think we need a shop drawing.
Okay,
I'm gonna look it over tonight.
all right, sounds good. That's about it.
They're expensive. The
What's
shop
that?
drawing adds $1,500.
$1,800, yeah.
Crazy.
We're just trying to figure out where what pieces go might be worth it. I don't know.
There's only 3 pieces.
Yeah, okay.
We'll be all right.
All right, anything from the audience? Or you, Brett?
Good, thanks. Did I miss a dockside discussion, or?
Actually,
That, it had to be tabled.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't actually tabled, the discussion was pretty much that we're waiting for more information.
I don't
We
think
haven't
there's
got-
enough for a discussion here.
What's that?
I don't think there are enough people here to discuss. but-
Right, yeah, it was just a matter of, I was kind of just going over it, and if there were questions on the latest, we don't have an easement, we don't know what the easement, document looks like, so we're waiting on that.
Okay.
And also our attorney requested some clarifications and a few recommendations on the change, so we have to have that done, and then we'll move ahead.
Do you have concerns about it or?
Well, I'm not sure what you're discussing about dockside. I mean, there's so much that should be on the table, I think. Just in terms of long-range planning about what to do with the property and whether the.
Right,
But I'm
with-
interested to know the status of whether, of the village negotiating with the state about managing the property.
Basically, some of the sticking points originally were that we wouldn't be able to take any money in or, retain revenue, so they came back and said that we could. There was a question about, like, well, if we have to go to you for every event we want, then, what's the sense of us taking over? That's what we have the agreement right now, so.
Well, my concerns, of course, are about the long-term planning for that area, whether it's possible to make it the start of the fjord trail, whether it's possible to make a connection across to the
Right.
the east side of the river from there, all of that kind of larger picture.
I don't think we've gotten that far, we were
Yeah.
just trying to kind of get
Yeah.
control so that
Well, I know
whatever,
you're also considering selling this parcel,
yes.
and I'm wondering, behind Impelletier, and I'm wondering if that maybe, until the long-range planning is done, should be held by the village to see whether that's gonna be required for any.
the parcel that we're considering selling is only 30 feet.
Okay.
It's not the highway garage,
And it's up on the top of the
It's-
hill, right?
Yeah.
it's at Pelletier's
Yeah.
level, it's just the back 30 feet of their
Okay.
property.
Well, I know previously there was a parcel sold by the village to Bruce Campbell that, might in the long run, if we look at Dockside as a start to the Fjord Trail, might have been helpful to engineer
Mhm.
a connection. So I'm just eager that the village not give away any more property
Right.
until it's,
Now, this
the
property
long-range
is.
plans are in sight, if you see what I mean. I mean,
Mhm.
that may have, you know, the village may regret that in the long run.
Right. Right now, the property is, we have the village, the garage, the highway garage, and then there's like 15 to 18 feet, and then it goes, then there's plateaus up to this property,
Right.
and they own like 100 feet or something, and they need an additional, or they'd like to purchase
Do we
the
know,
35.
have you announced to the public who that is who's
We
I-
don't know.
interested?
We don't even know, a real estate
Oh,
person,
okay.
asked that, so that's one question, and we're asking for an appraisal, and
Right,
We're asking
but it's a
for,
restaurateur, evidently, it's a.
that rumor has it that it's a restaurateur,
Right.
because all we get is a real estate notice from a real estate agent saying
Okay.
that somebody's interested, they'd like to buy the additional 30 feet that they're currently using that belongs to the village, or I guess Impel was using whenever.
Right. Okay.
anything else?
My grass seed is coming along very well.
Okay, we'll make sure that's protected this year. I have a motion to adjourn,
Second,
all in favor?
aye.
Thank you all.